of Vitarag Bhagavan Mahavir, Reverend Gurudev, respected Shravak Shravika. Today, I would like to discuss the concept of Antaryatra. Antaryatra and Hindu Tantric concept of Kundalini. Have you ever heard the word Kundalini?
Yes.
Kundalini Yoga? Anybody know anything?
There are centers in your body which you activate as you go deeper into the meditation. That's a lot for me.
Yeah, those are chakras. So, if you see the common platform of Indian or South Asian culture, Kundalini is very important factor. And if we see our Jain Agmaj, then the word Kundalini is not there. Not in the first layer, not in the second layer, and not in the third layer. So the whole Agam detection, there is no concept of Kundalini. But very important concept, and everywhere. So our Jain scholar monks, Acharya Mahapragya, he claimed that the Tejo Lesha, Tejas Sharir and Tejo Labdhi is the concept of Kundalini in Jain Agam literature. So if we try to see the various development of the feature of Kundalini, the early Upanishadic text, they talks about Nadij and Chakras. But early Upanishad level, there is no word Kundalini. But later it developed in Malini Vijayottara and Abhinav Gupta's Tantralok. It is quite developed. And mainly in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Sanskrit text of 13th, 14th century. Then Shiva Sangita, 15th century. It is much developed process. So if we talk about Kundalini, then Kundalini, Chakra, all are connected to each other. And interestingly, some scholar did that Plato's literature also have some sort of serpental power. And it was not in talk of the scholarly talk. The word Tantrism developed by the Western scholars. The elements of tantras were developed in the South Asian culture, but the word Tantrism and a systematic study of Tantra started by the Western scholars. The serpent power, Sir John Woodruff, very important, and it started everywhere people started talking about Tantra and Kundalini. So serpent power became a talk of town. So Jain scholar Acharya Mahapragya point out in Bhagavati Sutra, when there is a depiction of Gautam Swami, Sankipta Vyula Leshe, Sankipta Vyula Teya Leshe, Sanksipt and Vipula Tejo Lesha. He had that. Sankshipt means not activated, and Vipul means activated, and more developed aspect of Kundalini we can see in the 15th chapter of Bhagavati Sutra. At the chapter, Goshalak, disciple of Mahavir when he was not omniscient, both together, in a journey together, they came across with the Vaishampayan Rishi. And Rishi has a long hair. And if you keep hair, and if you don't wash them, don't shampoo them, don't take care of them, don't comb them, then maybe it is became a abode of leases. And some leases were there. It happens. So Gosala started teasing the Rishi, oh, abode of leases. Oh, you abode of leases. Once, twice, thrice, and the Rishi got so much angry. And at that time, he used his Tejolesha. And Tejolesha has so much power, it can burn thousands and thousands miles of the area. 16 Yojan Janpat. It is depicted in Bhagavati Sutra. So, Mahavira's Kundalini also activated. So Mahavira used it, Shitalalesha, to shave Gosalak. And Gosalak was so much impressed. He came to Mahavir. Oh Lord, how I can gain this power? And Mahavira explains the whole procedure of Tejolatya. Doing 2 days fasting, continuous for 6 months, and in the break of fasting, in the parana, take handful of lentils, black lentils, urad, and handful of water. That's it. No more other things. And the bela is chobihar, means no water. And raising your hands, go in the Atapana Bhumi. Atapana Bhumi means ascetic heat's place. And facing the sun, raising your hands, meditate in a standing posture. And after 6 months, you can get Tejanati. And it is mentioned in Bhagavati Sutra. Gosalak got this Tejanati. You know, sometime if you give a rifle or a sword to the monkey, what happened? Some disaster. It's a very interesting story. A king was very much impressed by a monkey, and monkey was so loving. So he thought, oh, I like this monkey always nearby me, so why don't I appoint him as my bodyguard? So he appointed the monkey as bodyguard, and monkey was so good, always like a faithful bodyguard, always there, so keeping the sword in hand and taking care of king. So one day what happened? A fly came from somewhere else, and king was sleeping, and fly was sitting here, there. He waved so many times the sword, tried to move it, but flies fly. It's don't follow your instruction or anything. So he tried. When the fly is not going away, so he thought maybe King's sleep will break. So he used the sword to kill the fly. But what happened? King was killed. So if we keep such bodyguard, and if you give such weapon in someone's hand, they don't have the reasoning mind. They don't have a samyak darshan. And without samyak darshan, power became so horrible. So when Gosalak got this labdi, he came. And first of all, he used abusing words about Mahavira. And when you use abusing word for guru or anybody, then disciple always get excited. So one monk, Subhuti, went forward, went to talk to him. And he said, Gosalak, you should not use such word for Bhagwan Mahavira. Then he used his Tejulesha. And Subhuti was burned to ashes there and then. Then he came nearby, then one monk, Sunakshatra, went there to debate with Gosalak. And again Gosalak used the labdi, Tejo labdi, and Sunakshatra also burned to ashes. And there was a terror in the monks. And Bhagavan now omniscient. At that time, Bhagavan was not omniscient. And that's why he used his labdi. So labdi was prohibited generally for Jain monks and nuns. So Bhagavan now omniscient, and he is not using the labdi to save the congregation. So two monks burned to ashes, and finally Gosalak became so disobedient, and he used his Tejolesha, Tejolabdi on Bhagwan Mahavira. But he was Tirthankar, having so much Atishay and power. So Labdi came and did 3 circumferences, Pradakshina, and went back to the Gosalak. And now burned to the Gosalak. So this is one episode in Bhagavati Sutra. And here Mahapragya claims that Teju Labdi is generated by the Tejas Sharir. Tejas Sharir, fiery body. How many bodies we do have? 5 bodies. This is Audarik Sharir, gross body. Then fiery body, Tejas Sharir. We have some temperature, luminousness, and whatever the glow, the beauty is depend on the Tejas Sharir. And Tejas Sharir work as a vehicle to take soul from one bhav to another bhav. And Karman Sharir, the karmic body, means the bunch of karma, which is not visible because all the karma particles are only chatusparshi. It's a deep philosophy, but karma we can't see. Tejas Sharir we can feel because it helps in our digestions also. So Tejas Sharir and Karman Sharir. So Tejas Sharir is responsible for Tejo Labdi, and which is equivalent to the Kundalini. And this Tejas Sharir has a red color. If you see the Lesha, then Tejo Lesha is assigned with red color. So this Tejo Lesha. So again a question. There is no serpent, no chakra description. So this Kundalini is different or equivalent? It is a question. And why this concept is not further developed? And at this point, Professor Jaini commented that Mahavira prohibited his monks and nuns to use the labdhi, use the riddhi, use the siddhi and powers. And that's why in Jain tradition, this is not flourished much more. So this is one aspect. Then the second episode we can see development in 12th century, great summa of Jainism, Jain Yoga Sastra of Hemachandra. In the 8th century of Haribhadra's literature, we don't get any concept of Kundalini. But in Hemachandra's literature, there is some description. Hemachandra talks about Ida, Pingala and Shushumna. So these three nadis, which are very prominent in Tantra literature. And Ole Quanstorm from Lund University, he digged about it. He translated in English Yoga Sastra. And one of my professor at present, my supervisor, Sir James Mallinson, he translated a bit of asana section because his work is a lot more about asanas and tantra. So Hemachandracharya, first time in Jain literature, used the three nadis, Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. So Sushumna is our medial duct or spinal column. Ida is in right side and Pingala in left side. So Ida is related to sun power, Pingala is related to moon power according to Tantra literature, according to Hatha Yoga. And Sushumna is having balanced power. And that is connecting to the top of the head from the bottom of the spine. So bottom of spine, there are 7 chakras, 9 chakras and 3 chakras. So many concepts. But Acharya Hemachandra used 3 chakras there. So the concept of Kundalini borrowed by Hemachandracharya from Tantric literature, because Yoga Sastra has so many varieties of yoga, so many varieties of supernatural powers. So it could be borrowed by Tantra Lok of Abhinav Gupta. Some Western scholars worked on it. But in 8th chapter of Yoga Sastra, Hemachandracharya used Madhyamargeyi. The word Madhyamargeyi denoting to Kundalini, because in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, one name of Kundalini is known as Madhyama. It is not in the right, not in the left, but flowing in the middle. So this middle channel is known as Madhyama, and there Hemachandra talks about this Madhyama. So Quanstorm translated Madhyama as Sushumna. So first time the depiction of Kundalini we get here. But in the 15th century development, of Acharya Sundar Suri, and he wrote one Ashtak, and in that Ashtak he borrowed the whole image of Kundalini as it is as the tantric literature. So this is a traditional development of Kundalini. But the fourth stage, which we do practice in our Sunday meditation or every meditation, the Antar Yatra. And that Antar Yatra is also a meditation on your spinal column. So I would like to take the development of this concept and how it is different from the old concept or Tantra, how Tantra concept mirrors on the Antar Yatra. So this will be my next day topic. So today just I made a background for this, and why I'm taking this topic, because it would be my presentation at Sovas. So some of you, due to the weekdays, maybe not possible, but this time the top-notch scholars who worked on Jainism are there, coming there. So on 19th March evening from 6 p.m. and I think you can take 1 hour from office and you can manage. So on this day we have lecture of Alex Sanderson from Oxford. He is the world-renowned scholar on Tantra. So in Jain workshop he is coming. So on the name of Alex, people are running. So it is in Brunei Gallery Savas. So please make. And I would like to invite you all. Why? Because I'm going to launch on behalf of Jain Vishwabharati and Tirupati Mahasabha from Kolkata, India. They did a publication of 108 book of whole literature of Acharya Tulsi. And Acharya Tulsi felicitation Granth, Smruti Granth also published. So at that time we are going to launch 108 volumes of Acharya Tulsi's literature. So it is again a great moment for all of us, for GVB and for Jain Samaj, that at a prestigious venue of Savas and in a special gathering of scholarly galaxy, we are going to launch that literature. So all are welcome, and I would like to send an email with the permission of Savas. So please mark in your diary. So it would be a great day for me also to launch Gurudev's literature at Savas University. And yes.
Is that in English?
Yes, everything
Okay.
in English,
Okay.
because it is an international conference.
Yes, I know.
And at Savas
I know.
you visited so many times.
Yes, but
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Everything in English.
Okay.
So make your plan, mark in your diary, and if you get time, then please do come on 20th, because what I spoke here is still in progress. I have to be more specific to speak in scholarly conference. So this how Kundalini mirrors on Antar Yatra, this is my subject. So, and do you have any question? I have 2 minutes or 1 minute in my hand.